we're facing the past. We've been cast out of the...
Hello and welcome to Cliff St Mary's School near Exeter. I'm Dave Molden and I will be commentating upon today's race, the 1993 Tom Hawkins Trophy Road Race. This race for third category and junior riders is promoted by the Exeter Wheelers Cycling Club and is held under the rules and regulations of the British Cycling Federation. I would take this opportunity to thank our sponsors who have boosted the prize money. Chuckle Print of Hambridge, Somerset, Road Rider, probably the best cycle shop in Devon, and last but not least, London Camera Exchange of Exeter. Well, the Ginger Tomcat there will not be riding today because he is a first cat, but to tell you who is riding, I have with me the race organiser, Simon Fuel. Over to you, Simon.
65 riders for today's race, but 5 of them have declined to sign on, so that leaves 60, which is the maximum that the police will allow. Looking through the field, we have a curious mixture of experienced men and exciting juniors. On the experienced side, there is Mid-Devon's Colin Lewis and Mike Parker. Colin, of course, rode the Tour de France in his heyday, but that was some time ago. So what about the juniors? Up-and-coming stars include Heron Road Club's James Taylor, who is a sprint champion on the track. Bristol Road Club field 3 very capable juniors in Daniel Moore, Stuart Pillinger and Duncan Goodchild. Other juniors to watch for include Wellington Wheelers' Alan Sherman and West Riparian's Sean Barry.
Well, this is a quick look at the course details from the Ordnance Survey map. The course is 12.5 miles around. There's 3 laps, so the race is 37 miles long. This is a quick look at the trophy. This is what the race is all about. Only one rider is going to be awarded this trophy. Which rider will it be?
I was quite surprised at what it goes actually. That was
The race commissar today is Eddie McLean of the Heron Row Club. Now, the Heron Row Club is actually a rival club locally, but for your information, you may not have a commissar of the same club as the promoter. And Eddie is actually quite a good commissar. He's actually a police sergeant, and he'll stand for no nonsense, so his safety talk probably included no white lining, lads, or you'll be arrested. And so, a full field of 60 riders begins the first lap. Well, there's a better start than yesterday's Grand National. But of course there's no fences to jump on this course, but there is a rather horrible hill which will sort out who is fit and who isn't, and who can climb and who can't. Well, there's a Bristol Road Club man there in trouble already. I don't know what his problem is. I hope he gets back on again. And what I'm wondering now is, who is this woman on the bridge taking the photograph? Answers on a £5 note and send them to my house.
Well, here is Alex McGrath at the front of the bunch. Alex is from the promoting club on the left hand side in the dark helmet. Basically the road here is dragging up all the way from the start for about 3 miles, We then drop down into Woodbury Village, and there the climb itself, the real hard climb to the top of Woodbury Common starts. This represents some 2 miles of climbing and should really sort out the bunch.
Well, the big guy behind Alex is, I think, Martin Brown. Now, he's a member of the newly formed Tiverton Cycle Sport. They wear these distinctive pink jerseys. A very well sponsored club for their first season. They have Tiverton, Glass, Wimpy and Maynard cycles backing them.
And here we are on the first big climb, and there's a preem here at stake, and it looks as if 3 riders are breaking away, trying to get the preem. It's Daniel Moore and Duncan Goodchild from the Bristol Road Club, but sitting behind them is... Oh, he's gone! That was James Taylor from Heron, and that is a surprise. I don't know what happened there. Perhaps his wheel touched Duncan Goodchild's wheel. We don't know, but it looks as if it's Daniel Moore who's going to take the first preem. He looks behind him. He's got it quite easily, and that's a £5 prize. I wonder what happened to James Taylor. Now, he would have been favourite to win that preem because he had such a tremendous sprint. He left the others standing, I think. But it looks as if the race is all over for James.
Well, the motorcycle cameraman was a bit too far up the road, really, to capture what exactly happened there. But I hope he's okay. Let's hope he gets back on and continues the ride.
Well, let's see what damage that big climb has done to the bunch. It's probably shattered it. There's the leader, Daniel Moore. A big gap. There's Duncan Goodchild from Bristol Road Club. There's the lead group going over. There's still quite a number in that lead group, about 20. Somebody desperately trying to get back in contact. As you can see, big gaps between the riders now. I think most of the riders who are coming up the hill now really have lost all chance of getting in the points in this race.
Well, we've joined the race now on the second lap. The bunch is back together, and that was Colin Lewis there on the outside. He's been on the front for a little bit too long, and I think he's getting a bit fed up, and he's waving through riders. And I bet Alex McGraw seems to have gone through with a lot of enthusiasm there. He seems to have gone off the front. Colin Lewis there is actually the oldest man in the race. I think he's 52 years old, is it, Simon?
Nobody really knows, Dave.
They've lost count of his age, have they? But he rides more like a 22-year-old. But anyway, this is Alex McGraw. Actually, he's opened up a slight gap here. They don't seem to be interested in chasing him. I don't know if Alex is actually going for a race win here, or whether he's going for the preem.
Or just posing for the video.
Well, that could be the case, I suppose. Yeah, he's a very photogenic guy. Well, he's certainly given it all in here. He's got a long way to go if he's actually going for the race win. He's still got another lap and 3/4 to go.
He doesn't climb well, this guy, you know, Dave.
Well, he strikes me as a kind of guy. He's very fit, and I think he can climb if he wants to. He's not a notable climber, but he can get over the hills. But I think he should make the preem. He's opened up a gap of about 25 seconds at the moment. I think we should be able to see how far back the bunch is. Yeah, he's almost out of sight and out of mind there.
Alex is 17 years old, and this is his second full season in cycle racing. He was a karate person before that, But I think his father was quite a keen cyclist, and maybe that's what encouraged him to join our club and take up cycling.
Well, it rather surprises me to know that he used to be into karate. He's such a mild-mannered kind of guy. I suppose if he doesn't like you, he just karate chops your frame in half.
And there's the bunch bearing down on top of him. Will he make it to the top of the preem?
Yes, about 20 seconds, although I think he's showing some strain now. I think he's been going for some time now, some 5 minutes I think it is, and I think he's suffering.
Well, here he is at the start of the big climb. He faces about 2 miles of climbing. The grading isn't particularly steep. You could probably handle it with a 42.17 or 42.16 if you were strong. But it's the sheer length of the climb that will sap his legs. Now this chap he's overtaking now is nothing to do with the race. I think he's just a resident of Woodbury Village out for a Sunday morning cycle ride. Certainly he's not under as much stress as Alex is at the moment. In about 500 metres or so, he'll get a bit of a breather as the road dips down a little bit before it...
Well, that's a view of the bunch actually behind him. Actually, we've got it now. He's about 22 seconds ahead of the field. He doesn't seem to be getting any away. If anything, he seems to be gradually getting wound in.
The road here drags up towards Four Firs Cross, and at this point he'll turn left. Now, the wind is a big factor which can come into play here, because when we reach Four Firs Cross we're out on the exposed common, and I think today though it'll probably be a tailwind, so when he turns left it might give him a bit of a lift and help him get to the summit in time for the preem. However, I'm not sure he's going to make it, because I think it's actually now less than 20 seconds. You can see those the bunch is getting very close now. And there we are at Four Firs Cross, a lot of marshals and spectators there. And now we're up on the exposed common itself. The gorse is looking very attractive today, isn't it, Dave, don't you think? Well, he looks as if he's going to hang on. Green flag should be coming into view in a minute.
Well, the latest time check is a bit sad really. It's down to 10 seconds and it seems to be closing. I think he's really suffering now. I think his legs are going to jelly, and I'm just hoping, you know, as he's a member of our club, that he does get the preem. I think he deserves it.
And in fact, one of the riders has already jumped across to him, and it's Duncan Goodchild from the Bristol Road Club. Duncan, of course, was second over the top last time, so he's certainly a very capable climber, and he leaves Alex for dead to take the preem. Just stop it.
Get ready to go.
Well, this is Philip Chapman from the promoting club Exeter Wheelers. He's been dropped. Now, Philip is actually a race winner. A couple of weeks ago, he won the Tavistock Wheelers Open Hilly 28 mile on the edge of Dartmoor. However, he has since suffered from a road traffic accident when he was in a bad collision with a car, and he is still recovering from some of the injuries he had. I think this is why he's been dropped and why he's suffering.
Well, these riders here are just getting dropped from the lead group. It must be really galling because they're seeing the lead group disappear and the last little rise to halfway house. A shame really, because if they could only hang on, they'd have 5-mile descent on which to recover. And here we are on the descent. Now the riders taking a bit of a break here, but one feature of this descent is that they probably won't be able to go all that fast because of the restricted gears. Because there are juniors in the race, everybody in the field is restricted to a maximum of 52.15. That means after this little rise, for example, they'll have to pedal really fast to get any speed up. At the back there is number 24, Mike Parker, just looking around. He must be one of about 20 riders in this lead group. Let's see who's also in this lead group. There's Chris Rees of St Budo, Nick Allen, Mike Parker. That's Christopher Guest, I think. Howard Jones from Bromley Olympic. CS Dynamo's Simon Hill. The Bristol pair, Goodchild and Moore. Alex McGrath. William Hobbs. Andy Shaw, famous mountain bike rider. I think that's Stuart Pillinger. And leading that group, I think I saw Colin Lewis.
Okay, Louis, pull past him when you can. How fast do you want to go faster? Yeah, go past him slowly.
Well, Daniel Talbot of Bradford Olympic leads the remainder of the field onto the third and final lap, so there's 12.5 miles to go. Well, they're back up the dual carriageway again. This is Alex McGraw of the promoting club on the front. Of course, it was a lap ago when Alex tried breaking away. He seems he can't seem to stay off the front. It's a good time for a feed. The bottles are coming out now. I must say we've been extremely fortunate with the weather. We've had a lot of rain lately, and we've been very lucky. In fact, it's a nice sunny day. Well, the bunch is back together again, and they're approaching the climb for the third and final time. And I think this will probably sort out the eventual winner.
Dave, I've just seen William Hobbs in that bunch. There's a little story about William Hobbs that might amuse one or two people. He actually entered the race twice. I received an entry form rather, from William, and 2 days later I received the same entry form. It was identical in every respect apart from the dates were different. In both cases he'd sent a £5 note. So on the day I gave him 2 numbers and told him he'd better start early before the rest, because he had to do 6 laps as he'd entered it twice. Of course, he was completely unaware of his error. Foolishly, I gave him his £5 back, though.
Well, he's still a better guy than some people because they never entered this race at all. It is a good race to enter. Well, here's the hill for the third and final time, and there's a local rider on the back there, Simon Hill.
You may have noticed that Simon is no lightweight. In fact, remarkably enough, he achieved 6th place in this race last year. By the way, he's number 8, and as you can see, he probably has the build of a trackie rather than a climber.
Well, I can tell you that 3 riders have broken away from the front of the bunch. There they go, just around the corner. I don't know who they are, but it's not Colin Lewis. Colin Lewis leads the bunch up this hill. As soon as we can get in front of this bunch, we'll try and find out who they are. We can just see them there going over the top of the hill. They've got about 100 metres. And I expect they're working furiously to get away.
Well, there they are, Dave, and on the left, looking behind, is Daniel Moore, winner of the first preem. In the middle of them, number 65, is Chris Rees. Now, Chris is a really canny rider, and his presence in the break probably means it's likely to succeed. And in front of them, I think that's Sean Barry. Yes, it is Sean Barry, and that really confirms that this break has a potential, because there are 2 guys in there who can really make a solid effort.
Well, Daniel Moore looking behind over his shoulder, and this is the view he's got, the bunch some 150 metres behind. They are working well together, and they've got every possibility of making this break succeed.
This is the most dangerous corner on the course, and we have to thank Exmouth Police for their presence here. From now on, it's a 5-mile descent, basically, as they descend from 500 feet to the finish, which is at sea level. As you can see, they're working really well together. sharing the pace at the front.
These three riders have made almost 30 seconds on the bunch, and I think a view from behind confirms that. They're actually around the corner, out of sight and out of mind, probably. Well, I just passed the White Horse Inn, and there's about 2 miles to go. And this is superb riding. I expect these three riders have probably never ridden together in a break before, but you would have thought they'd practiced a team time trial. The time is now about 25 seconds. It's similar to what it was before. I don't think they're making any more time, and I don't think the bunch is actually responding fast enough to catch them. As soon as the bunch is in sight, we'll have a look at what they're doing. Here we are. Well, we're about 20 seconds behind, but they're going to have to move extremely fast if they're going to catch them, and I don't think they've got the time.
They've just gone past the 1 kilometre to go board, and so there's no way they're going to be caught now. Which one of these three is it going to be? My money would go on Chris Reese, actually. He's such a canny rider. He prides himself on winning any bunch sprint. Looking behind nervously there is Daniel Moore. You're okay, Daniel. You're in the first three. And there's the bunch, and the best that any of those can hope for is 4th place now. Oh, and Daniel Moore's jumped early. He's gone from about 300 metres. Will he hang on? 200 metres left. But he's being worn down by Chris Reese on the middle. Chris Reese is going for it. But Sean Barry is the stronger of the two and comes around Chris Reese to win it. Looks over his shoulder. It's easy for him. He's got a couple of metres on Chris Reese and it's all over. Go.
Winning 4th place is Kevin Schofield of Cleveland and District, and the positions of the bunch sprint will be in the presentation. 3 dropped riders coming in, and the weather's just turned to rain. Well, that's nice timing on the weather.
And also to the riders who rode. Now, it was a good race today, and luckily the weather stayed fine. I was a bit worried yesterday that we would have as much rain as we had yesterday. Anyway, we'll start with the preems. The first preem was won by Daniel Moore from Bristol Road Club. It was a bit of a good day for Bristol Road Club because they had the second preem, Duncan Goodchild. Now to the actual prizes themselves. In 6th place, it was, struggling to remember. Howard Jones. Howard Jones. I'm sorry. Howard Jones rides for Bromsgrove Olympic, and in the programme I put Bradford Olympic. I apologise for that. Now, because we're near to Easter, we've got an extra little prize for the first 6. We want to really slow them down, so we think if they had an Easter egg like this, that would slow them down a bit. Duncan, you've got an extra prize, an Easter egg. Sorry, Howard, you've got an extra prize, an Easter egg. Can you go on my own? Yeah. Give it to your mum or something. Yeah. Thank you very much. In 5th place, Wellington Wheelers, Alan Sherman. In 4th place, Kevin Schofield. Well done. Well, 3 riders finished together, and as they came up to the line, it looked as if Daniel Moore from Bristol Road Club was going to do it. But the other 2 overtook him, and he finished 3rd. But well done, Daniel. Finishing 3rd. Well, I was just about to go to bed last night, and I got a phone call from Chris Rees down in Cornwall. Could I enter the race? Took about 59th minute of the 11th hour. He squeezed in at number 65. He must have been about 5th or 6th reserve, and he popped up to get 2nd place. Well done, Chris. Well, one of our riders, probably our best rider at the moment in road racing, is Hugh Fairgreen, and he's currently away in France. He was called over to France to race for his country, and before he went, he said to me, "It's a shame, Simon, I'm not riding the Tom Hawkins road race, because he's quite cocky as Hugh." He said, "I'm probably going to win it, but there's one guy who could stop me. I'm a bit concerned about him, because he was 8th in the National Juvenile Championship last year, and he's Alan Sherman." Sean Barry, Sean Barry. Yeah, Hugh was really worried that Sean Barry was the man to watch. And of course, Hugh wasn't here to ride, and Sean Barry won. Well done, Sean. You've got this sash, you've got to put this round you, as the winner. I'm sorry to get your name wrong, eh?
Never done this before. Speech.
Right. Now this year we've got a team prize, which has made life a bit difficult for the judges. Thought I'd make them work a bit harder today. And is John Robbins? Yes. Put your name on again. John Robbins from Road Rider Cycles in Queen Street in Exeter has provided 3 £10 vouchers to spend at his shop for the first 3 in the winning team. And again, it was Bristol Road Club who popped up with the first 3 places. Daniel Moore again, Duncan Goodchild, and someone called S. Pillinger. Sorry, I don't know your Christian name. Can you come up and collect the prize?
Go on, Stuart.
Yeah, it's the one envelope. There's 3 vouchers in there, you know.
And we do mail order, all right? Don't worry.
But you ought to come down for a training ride, you know, to Bristol to pick up. Yeah. So that's it. A big thank you to everyone who helped, and I hope to see you next year.
Simon can call back the first 3 riders.
Catch. Should have caught that. I'll eat it later, don't worry.
I found a picture of you. Oh, a place in the past we've been cast out of. Now we're back in the fight. We're back on the train. Back on the chain gang. Circumstance beyond our control. The phone, TV, and the news of the world. Got in the house like a pigeon from hell. Transcending our eyes and descended like flies. Put us back on the train. Back on the chain gang. To live like we do, bring me to my knees when I see what they've done to you. But I'll die as I stand here today, knowing it deep in my heart they'll fall to ruin one day for making us part. A picture of you. Those were the happiest days of my life. Like a break in the Bible was your part. In the wretched life of a lonely heart.